It's his time.
I'd like to call to order the Common Council meeting for April 20, 2015. Please stand for the invocation. Bobby, please.
Gracious God, we thank you for this day. We thank you, God, for how you continue to bless us and keep us. We ask you, God, help us continue to be what you would have us to be. Ask you to be with this council. Continue to guard them, watch over them, keep your hedge of protection around them. Help them to be the leaders you would have them to be. We ask you to bless all of our staff with our city, be with the mayor, be with all our staff, be with all our first responders, be with the persons in this community, and also the persons that are here tonight. Be with them, be with their families. We thank you, God, for having a community that cares and persons who want to be involved in the everyday the everyday legislative and also the everyday governance of our community. God, we have a great community, and we appreciate all that you have done to continue to guide us, help us to protect us, for us to have a place that people love to live and come and to be and to visit and to be around. And God, we hope you continue to keep it safe for our children and our families. We ask it all in the name of Jesus the Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bobby. Roll call, please. And before you do that, I just want to say Nathan is not here tonight because he is at a conference and cannot be helped for his job. So, roll call, please.
Councilperson Smith.
Present.
Councilperson Zastovny.
Present.
Councilperson Wadsworth.
Present.
Councilperson Sellers.
Here.
Councilperson Webb.
Present.
Council President Gill.
Present.
Councilperson Julius.
Here.
Councilperson Owen.
Here.
Let the record reflect 8 councilpersons present, Councilperson Samuel absent.
Thank you, Vicki. I got minutes from the council workshop for April 6, 2015.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. I've got minutes for our regular council meeting for Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of the agenda.
Yes, Mr. President, if we could, the Kelly's here with the revolving loan request for Comfy Cow. Could we kind of move this up somewhere on the very front of the agenda? Wherever you'd like it.
So we're going to take number 1 under new business, and we're going to move it up to number 1. Well, we'll just do it after the
1A.
clerk's report, yeah. Right after the clerk's report, which would be right before the Ken Calabro. That'll be fine.
That's all I
So is
have.
that a motion, Mr. Smith?
Yes, I'll make, if there's no other changes, just with that one change, I approve the agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. We've got Heather with us tonight. Claims to be approved.
Requesting approval of the claims for $447,212.39.
Heather, I have a question for you, and I don't think you have an answer, but I do just want to point this out.
Mm-hmm.
I was noticing under the claims under Thunder, we had security pros for an additional $3,500, and I know that they are currently getting paid by, well, a lot of the departments use security pros, which is fine, but I just really don't know, with the day-to-day use of them, what would justify all of a sudden a $3,500.
That was, Chief's here, he can.
I know that Kenny had spoke about that at the Board of Public Works, but I believe that is the connection, part of that is the connection to the Ken Ellis building, which is the command post. They put up the 2 big monitors that monitor all the areas and the cameras.
Is that not normally in service to start with?
I think that part of it is just a seasonal, just for Thunder.
It's never come out Thunder before. The
Didn't come
non-reverse
out
fund.
Thunder before.
So it probably needs to come out someplace else, wherever it's come out of in the past.
Well, it's a Thunder expense. It's directly connected to Thunder.
Do we know, I mean, what balances do we have in the Thunder expense? You don't have to have the answer now, but I just want to make
We
sure
have sufficient cash in that fund
For
to
that.
cover that.
But I'm not sure that that's what that fund was supposed to be
Intended?
for. Yeah.
Well, I know Security Pros played a vital role in the command center. I mean, we couldn't have done it without them. They put live cameras and,
Well, that's fine, but it needs to come out of the correct line. item.
What account would you like that to come out
I
of?
don't know. We need to look and see where it came from last year. Did we use them last year?
Yes.
Do we pay additional like
They,
that?
I think they played a role. I don't think it was as big as it was this year because Big Four was not, of course, operational with those cameras, so.
Well, I guess my question is just if we get some further information, and we may have to move where it comes from, Bit Thunder may be the proper account, I don't know, but just follow up on that if you would. And
Okay.
is that going to be like an annual cost, or is it something that we installed some equipment that we can reuse next year? I don't know, just if you would, just,
Chief, will it be an additional cost next year? I mean, it's
I think
temporary.
it'll be a reoccurring cost because they actually set up at the command post an entire room of monitors they bring in, 2 or 3 big TVs with the cameras and the connection. They're there for a couple days setting it all up.
Yes.
yeah, and it was live in case there was a suspicious package, they could reverse it. I
Yeah.
mean, they manned them.
They actually brought in
They had
technicians as
several
well.
monitors set up, yeah.
It was
And it was
different from
worth
last
that.
year.
I just don't
We
remember.
transformed the Ken Ellis for those that week into a command post that involves quite a bit of work from the phone companies and from Security Pros.
Out of Floyd, then.
Very good.
Yeah.
We ought to see where it came from last year and then make a
Yeah,
decision.
Well, it didn't come out of last year. This is a new expense this year.
I thought we had some of it came out of last year.
Well, he said they didn't do as much
Yeah.
last year.
Well, do you want to just hold up on that and then we can research it and get back and then
Well,
make it?
I hate to hold up
Hold
the
their money.
payment on it. I just say, let's just take it out of Lloyd. It's the safety.
Do
of
we
the
have
fund.
to reappropriate it?
Oh, I don't know.
We could approve it now and then
Yeah.
maybe reimburse from later if we find that's the appropriate thing to do.
Yeah, I want to pay him, I'm like Connie, but we might have to tweak where it comes from, but that's fine with me. That was my only question.
If no other questions, motion to approve.
I'm abstaining.
Do I have a second? Okay, got a motion and second to approve $447,212.39. Is there any further discussion?
So do I
Pay it as it's presented.
pay it as
It is
presented?
presented to be reimbursed.
We'll have to do a little research on it. and-
Yep.
Because I know the chief and I were up front talking, we had the Thunder people, official Thunder were over here, and I think they said it was appropriate.
Okay.
We were talking about that and food, so we'll check into it.
There ought to be
Well, the
federal
people
money.
all those-
Louisville wouldn't know, so. Go ahead.
The Thunder
You're talking-
people,
yeah. You talking about the people from Louisville? We need to talk about the food?
well, okay, we'll check into it.
Okay, that's all I ask. Because we need to get at least a budget for that, if nothing
Right.
else, because it'll escalate to 7 and then 10, and, and we just need to manage that.
Before it happens.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Heather. Report of the clerk.
Real quick, I want to let you know, we got a thank you note from the Girl Scout, or the, yes,
Well,
the first one was Girl
the first
Scout
one was Girl
troop.
Scouts.
that came, and then we got one from the Boy Scout troop, Cub Scouts. And I talked to some of the pack mothers, and they said that both of them really, really enjoyed that. And they wanted to thank the council and the clerk's office for getting it arranged. They said it meant a lot to the scouts. And from what I gather, we're going to have around 2 to 3 more scout
Okay.
troops come up and do it.
Well, I appreciate you making contact with them. It's always a treat to have them come and lead us in
When
the
I told
pledge.
them, I said it makes us, we really enjoy that because it brings the young people into the council meetings, and also, it's good for us to have the troops the Cub Scout and Girl Scout troops lead us in the pledge, so.
Thank you. Okay, so Kelly Hoffman revolving loan fund request for Comfy Cal.
Hi, thanks for moving us up this evening. Brian Flowers and Deb Flowers are here on behalf of Comfy Cow. They will be two of the owners. They're looking for they're requesting a $50,000 revolving loan. They'll be locating next to Tony Boombas on Veterans Parkway. And this has already gone before the revolving loan fund committee a couple weeks ago, and they approved the recommendation to City Council for a 5-year $50,000 loan at 2.33%.
And council, I sent out an email that I did go in and talk with Rob and Kelly, and I looked over the application and their credit, everything was impeccable and in perfect order, so.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you all very much.
Welcome.
Thank you. We're opening May 16th, so we'd love to have you all at our grand opening, and our ribbon cutting is May 15th at 11 o'clock.
Excellent.
All
We're
right.
excited to become a part of the community.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, Kim Calabro, unfinished business, 2015 OR 17, ordinance amending 2014 OR 54, and the salaries.
There are no changes as presented last month, with the exception of the notice that the clerk sent out on page 9, that the Common Council meeting stenographer pay is going to be removed. Other than that, there have been no other
You
changes.
don't want to go over it again?
I'd rather not, no.
Motion to approve 2015 OR 17 on the final reading as amended.
Let's get second and third, please.
Second and third as
Do you
amended.
really have an hour and a half?
Okay, I got a motion, a second to pass, and a second and final reading. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
I don't know. Who seconded the motion?
Ed did. Okay, Les is not here tonight.
Oh, I can do that one.
Okay, the
I
two
told
that-
him I would. You want me to go up there, or it's just right here, okay?
As long as the minutes can be recorded, we're fine with you right there.
Nothing has changed, and if y'all recall, what this is regards to was on the police, the administrative assistance one, the petty cash to go to $50. It had been at 25, I believe, and they weren't able to make change. So this is just 50, and that was the only change in this whole ordinance, was just under that on page 2, under police for the administrative assistance.
Motion to approve on the first reading.
It was already approved on first reading.
Oh, are we in old business or still?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Motion
Second
to
and
approve
final.
on the second and third.
Second.
All right, I got a motion and a second to approve in the second and final reading. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Vicki, for standing in for Les. Ms. Heather,
I've been you all.
an ordinance transferring certain funds within the same department. This did pass on the first reading.
There's been no changes if requesting approval.
Make a motion to approve on second, third.
Second.
They got a motion and a second to pass 2015 OR 19 on the second and final reading. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Heather, you're still up, and council, this will be a public hearing for the ordinance for additional appropriation. This did pass in the first reading.
There was one addition to the last line there for the reimbursement of the Tahoes that were sold. You all heard that at the last meeting.
Council have any questions?
You
I'm
open
gonna
it
go
up.
ahead. I'm going to go ahead and open up for public hearings. Anybody here that wishes to speak for or against this, come up to the podium, please, and state your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close public hearing.
I make the motion to pass on second, third reading.
Do I have a second? Got a motion and a second to pass 2015 OR 20 on the second and final reading. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Heather.
Lisa, you're going to have to sign on that back page too.
Okay. Scott Lewis, an ordinance amending 2013 OR 8, authorizing city officials to use the city credit card for official government purchases and statutory credit card use metropolitan.
Yes, this ordinance that's being proposed, this came as a result of a workshop we had a couple months ago, I think it was back in February, where Amir and I think some of the police chief and fire chief had recommended having a designated city credit card for emergency purposes only that would be accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then we had that, I think, on one of the meetings that got canceled by snow, and it just didn't get back on the agenda. So anyway, as a result of that public workshop that we had back in February, we talked about instead of creating an additional city credit card, we would just basically redesignate an existing credit card for this use. And when I went back through the workshop minutes, we talked about, we had three credit cards in the controller's office that was going to be, that previously was designated for use by various city departments. So what this ordinance, or excuse me, this amendment is doing is basically reducing the controller's credit card that is being kept in their office from 3 to 2, and then we're designating one of those credit cards as the emergency credit card that's going to be kept at the police headquarters, that will be used for emergency purposes by the designated authorized personnel, and it will be accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we also talked at that workshop at the request of the emergency personnel to increase the limit to $10,000. I think the current credit cards are, was it $2,500 is the current limit, or $2,000? But according to Amir, they thought $10,000 would be a sufficient limit for emergency situations.
Make a motion to approve 2015 OR 23 on the first reading.
Okay, got a motion, a second, pass 2015 OR 20, what was it? 23, in the first reading.
Steve? Second.
Yes, Steve. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I'll be voting against this. I think $10,000 is a little much, so I think that's not necessary, but I'll be voting against it. That's my reason.
Any other further discussion or comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed,
Aye.
motion carries. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks.
We have Chief Kavanaugh under the department heads. He couldn't make it tonight. He's out with a community meeting, but he did want me to pass on to council that he implemented the bike patrol. They were first used down in Thunder, and it was very successful. He had a meeting with the downtown merchants, and they really liked the idea, so he actually had them downtown today since the weather was nice and being out and being visible. So he just wanted me to pass that on to you, and if you have any questions, he just said to email them, but he just wanted me to...
How many bikes have we got?
No, he did not say. He just said that...
We ought to find out how many we got.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
He'll try to make the next meeting. He was just...
I remember when we purchased those, because it was under,
We purchased bicycles and racks.
Well,
bike
you know,
racks.
that'd be something that we could see how many we purchased whenever and how many we
Maybe
got.
we have.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
And then I had asked for, if Heather, would you please come up? I'd asked, we got our circuit breakers back, and some great news on that, so I wanted the public to know. And Heather was just going to go through that real quick. Thank you, Heather.
All righty. Circuit breaker total impact, just a comparison from last year's to this year's, went down close to $400,000. It was $393,667. And we shifted some of the levy to the Parks and Sanitation Fund, so they're actually going to get more of a revenue, but that in turn gave them more of an impact. So that's why on that email you can see that the difference in the parks from last year to this year increased by $42,000, sanitation increased by $86,000, but the general fund actually was lower by $520,000. So we had an increase in assessed valuation by $49 million, which reduced our tax rate which in turn reduces our circuit breaker impact.
I like that.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome, thank you.
Can we have those numbers?
Yes.
Yeah, what is the tax rate?
What was the tax rate for you?
Ha ha ha. Tax rate last year was, for the city, 1.79. And then for this year, it's 1.7711. So it decreased some.
Good to know, we're going in the right direction.
hmm
Thank you, Heather. Is there anything?
AV going up, that's a great thing.
It is a good thing.
Any questions, or I've got lots of other data if you ever, you really want to crunch the numbers with me.
On the floor.
What's the city's AV?
Thereabouts.
For 2015 is $1,374,186,433.
Oh, thanks. What was the total cut? What was the total circuit breaker ball?
Circuit breaker estimate
Yes.
is 3.7 million, when last year it was 4.1.
What do we know, like next year, is there anything we can do? That's something that we can't control, is the circuit breaker cuts itself? That is state controlled?
It's legislative. Increase your AV and
Right.
decrease your,
Yeah.
it all flows around. Anything else?
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks.
Okay, we don't have any council board, commission appointment reports, but we do have a public comment. We have Paul here from Exit Zero. Would you come up and state your name, please, for the record?
Yes, my name is Paul Stendra at Exit Zero Ministry. And I'm just basically here to first say thank you to City Council for this year. It's been an absolute pleasure to be working with you a lot closer within the City of Jeff. Also, just on another note here, we've now become partners with JB Ogle. Within the past 2 weeks, they've really helped us, helping us with stray cats, because once again, our homeless community, guess who gets dumped? Stray animals. So JB Ogle has been huge. We actually rescued 4 kittens today. The blessing is, of the 9 cats that we've located, they're pretty much all adopted through the ministry, but JB Ogle stepping in to help us with this. So this is where relationships start to happen, guys, and we really appreciate that. The reason I'm here today is many of you may be aware we purchased a 20-foot shower trailer as basically like a humanitarian aid for the homeless here locally, not just for Jeffersonville, but for our surrounding communities as well. Within this shower trailer, we're going to have this available to the homeless. We're already signing up people. We've already had about 20 people go through this within a week's time. This unit will have 2 showers which are operational right now. What we've gathered is basically 16 showers is what we can give on a normal day basis on 200 gallons worth of water. We're looking to restrict this water just a little bit more, trying to stretch our pennies, because once again with the ministry, we're basically running on $1,100 a month in order to provide over 22,000 meals in the community plus basic needs. So this is the proposal. The generator that you see here, I was able to take a real close look at this generator during a food truck rally over in Louisville that we've done. This generator will basically power this shower trailer. It is on the 110 circuit, so it's basically home electricity. But this generator is a quiet one because, once again, we are familiar with noise, and sometimes noise generates problems. So this is probably, our conversation right now is louder than what this generator is, which is truly a blessing. Yes, it's $4,000, and what we're looking for is that, if possible, if City Council can purchase this for us, this will be attached to our trailer in order to run this, but also with this, we'll be able to add an additional washer and dryer into this unit as well. Once again, this week has been truly blessing with this, because one of our most difficult individuals within our community, many of us may be familiar with Joe. He lives under Court Street. Joe actually came and got a shower Friday night, and he came on his own saying, "I heard there's showers here." Guys, this is a huge, huge step on this entire situation. Once again, There's different reasons why people don't go into the local shelter, and once again, we're giving them a choice. And the folks that are coming, they basically come in after our meals, so it's not being done during meals or during the daytime when we're sorting. They're already there, they come in, they're getting clean clothes, they're getting showers. The best thing is the clothing is now going in the trash instead of into the city and being disposed of. So it's really helping across the board on this. So this would be very beneficial for the ministry, but then also for our local homeless here locally, just in order to get a shower.
Paul, I saw on your Facebook page, it looked like the trailer was inside a building. Where are you operating this?
This is actually in Federal and Spring Street. This is basically in a warehouse that was provided by David at Bales. He allows us to utilize this facility for warehouse, and this is basically where it's housed right now. The beauty to this is once we do put a generator on it, it will become mobile to where we can actually take it to different locations. An example, this large apartment fire, I reached out to Lisa as well as Red Cross and Salvation Army. Hey, we have portability. If you need us there, we can bring it there. Once again, they had already arrangements through YMCA. So right now, it is in the building in order to be utilized. But in reality, this will be in the building for our locals, and then it will be able to respond into other communities such as Floyd County, Scott County, wherever there may be a homeless issue, just to be able to outreach for them in this particular state.
Well, I just wanted you to keep in mind, we do have some public safety officials here that generators are not to be used inside buildings.
Generators will be put outside, and then we would just stretch our cords with the real thick gauge. I'm not an electrician, but we've got like the real thick stuff because we understand that's the power. But we, being a volunteer fireman for many years, Red Cross, I know my safety, I was a disaster educator, but we understand generators have to be put outside. If we attach it to the trailer, it will have removable connections, so that way we can pull this off. And the big thing here, guys, is once again, the ministry does not pay for the electric there, nor the water. So basically, we're trying to take this off the grid to where the ministry will basically take care of the fuel. So we're running off a generator power instead of Dave's electricity bill. So it's kind of just trying to work around that avenue. Before the water situation comes up, yes, I'm bringing water in from my house. I basically truck in about 250 gallons about every 3 to 4 days from my home. And once again, we will do what we've got to do to, make sure our local homeless are clean and taken care of. But that's kind of what we're doing right now is just trucking in our water, pumping it out by a pump through my truck. We're using the alligator clips on the battery so that way we're not pulling the electricity from the building. So we're trying to, think ahead.
Council, have any questions?
Well, that's a good generator. I've sold several of those. It's a good price. Only thing where are you going to store that in the evenings, or because those are on high theft rate?
We have a secured building at the Bales building. It would be basically chained to the trailer itself, just like on our small trailer. We've got a very small generator that powers lights and just a sound system, but it would be mounted directly on their cable lock and chain, that type of situation. Plus the building that we're in, we have security cameras. So we're ready for that. Once again, we're in this type of business. We know we're serving all walks of life. And the Clark County Jail is starting to outreach a lot to us as well. So once again, we're getting inmates that are coming out that are homeless, nowhere to go. We're the first connection. So it will be secured. We've got cameras as well on the building, and it's all held inside. And I would like to invite you guys down for a field day. Come down and check out the ministry. We don't have much, guys, but we're able to do a whole lot with what we have, and as time progresses, we're just hoping to build better relationships in the community, and we're seeing this after 7 years. Our homeless aren't going away, but I'll tell you, the amazing stories that are happening with partnerships coming in now have been phenomenal. So we are making change, but for every one, we're gaining 2 more. So it's a very tough ministry.
Did you have anything you needed to?
I've made a couple contacts, Paul. Before we would order that, give me a couple days. I may have somebody that might help us with that.
And honestly, if you guys have a better area, once again, this is just a particular unit that I looked at because what we're looking is, number one, it's got a power washer and the dryer will be gas, so basically just a basic 110. and then the washer. So, we're definitely going to need that 220 line. But this one here would definitely hold the capacity of everything that we're trying to do. And once again,
Oh, we want to get you what you want. I'm just saying I may have somebody that
Hey.
might step up.
and like I said, more or less the quietness. I don't need something where we're having to scream over somebody, because once again, we don't want it to become a noise complaint at that point.
My only question is this, and I'm not against this, I think it's okay, but what are we going to do when other agencies come to us and they want to start purchasing these type of things as well? Because we've had this issue before.
I
and
understand.
I'd be the first one to say it if you were here, because at one point, we were giving out $120,000 a year. I mean, we've got Haven House, we've got other agencies who do the same type of ministry, and so what's going to be the bottom line, and how are we going to be fair?
I don't know, well,
I can see it an issue.
I can understand that.
If I can make a quick response to that, we have actually had a ministry reach out to Center for Lay's ministry, because what they were looking to do is possibly put showers in this facility. Once again, there's not enough room, the expansion, the money, so that wasn't capable. Once again, within our local shelter, there's 7 showers, and you have roughly on a given day 80 individuals. Do the math when you have a couple like I had today that were living in their car, trying to come in, do a quick shower because they're going third shift to go to work tonight. Sometimes it doesn't happen when you sign up, but you're getting bumped basically. So we are trying the other avenues, and even down to the churches. The problem is, once again, I have registered sex offenders. They can't go into a shelter, guys. There's kids there. So we've got multiple situations that are kind of weaving in together. With this location, we're able to serve all walks of life at this point, at this particular location. Then we can also take it mobile.
And I understand that. That's not the issue. That's not
The only-
they know what I'm...
I do understand. The only thing that I guess I look at is there's nobody in our area doing what Paul's doing.
And it's a basic humanitarian, providing showers
So-
and clean clothes.
I think if you have a nonprofit come in and there's 10 nonprofits the same, I think you have an argument with that. But and Connie, I understand completely, and we're going to be faced with it no matter what we do. But we don't have people stepping up to the plate doing what's being done here.
But wasn't this study, getting back to the study that we paid for and all this
Yes, sir.
conversation took place, there was a lot of discussion, and I know we haven't seen the final draft of that. But there again, you are actually putting this in, and I hate to say this, it's in my district, so it's comfortable for everybody else to say yes.
Well, it's in my district too,
Yeah.
because
Well,
I take care of
that's right.
at large and Steve.
So, I don't know the exact, I don't know the...
Oh, not yet.
Matt.
And for folks that cannot make it down to the ministry due to medical illness and they're in a tent or something, this will be traveling to their location. So it's going to be in everybody's district at some point.
Well, then I think everybody ought to kick in, and I think New Albany, Clarksville should, or whomever should pay a percentage of this generator.
That's
Why
kind
is
of
it,
what I'm thinking.
I mean,
If
why
it's
is
gonna be
it
for all these
again-
communities, they all need to be asked to help.
why is it again up to us? Now, I don't mind paying our share. As a matter of fact, I made the motion to give Exit Zero $500 to get kerosene when it was 0 degrees.
Right.
Okay, but I'm just talking about making something manageable, and I'm talking about if you're going to do it, it needs to be split up. Otherwise, we'll have the full load again.
Well, it may not be an issue if he's got a few calls out, that it might be, somebody
gonna
might
do my
step
best
up
on
and donate a generator,
But
so.
I think if it's a community issue, other communities should. I don't know, have you went and talked to Clarksville and New Albany about trying to?
Not yet.
Okay, well, see, that's the thing. We're the first stop on everything.
Because we have a local shelter here and they drop everybody off here locally because of a local
They
shelter.
drop 'em off.
You have law enforcement that drops people off when inmates are released. The only shelter for 7 counties is Haven House. So that's basically what happens. They basically get dumped here and that's how they get here.
Yeah, I know how they can. Okay, so anyway, yes.
Well, this is also a long-term thing. That generator could last 10.
Exactly. We don't want to find something that's going to break down after the first year, and this thing's built like a tank, so we really don't see issues with,
I don't see that this is any, You know, the long-term plan, the 10-year plan for the homeless, I don't think that this has anything to do with that. And the reason I say that, I've said all along that I feel like we have to work to bridge the gap from the time that this study's done and the time that you get something in brick and mortar. We got to bridge the gap with the homeless. And whether that's with private donations, some city dollars, and I know if you go to New Albany, if you're looking at Haven House, I think they give them $30,000 a year. So what I'm saying is, I think we're going to have to, until that study gets done, and until you can bridge the gap to you have something that the people can use, you're going to have to bridge that gap, and you're going to have to put some city dollars towards it. And to me, helping with a generator to facilitate and make a humanitarian need, I think that's something that we could do.
And the other thing is, next winter, we pray that we'll be contacted so that way we can respond, because what we see after this year with our cold snap that we had was us being an emergency response team for the homeless, like the Red Cross, go in with one of our partners within our shelter and open up there. And then basically what happens is none of our local downtown churches have showers. That was one of our biggest challenges, is bringing 46 people in off the streets. Where do we get showers? I actually had to reach out to 3 churches, and then we had buses to come, pick them up, shuttle them out. So this is going to basically make that whole situation a little bit easier for us as well for that capability. And once again, these folks aren't getting jobs because the way they feel after the day. They're covered in dirt. They don't want to go to the doctors because the way they smell. They don't want to go to the doctor. So we're listening to our folks and implementing something. Now I got them going to the doctor, and I've got them going to work. We just posted a video today of 2 people, the first time in the shower, but they're third shift, starting Walmart. Now they know where they can come in order to get showers.
Hope you didn't video them in the shower.
No.
I would feel more comfortable if it was a public-private thing, because, like you said, some of the churches, they wanted to help, but they couldn't. They could put dollars towards this, and then the city meet part of it, because then I don't want to totally remove people, and they think that the city government, it's our responsibility to take care, because we can't do it all, just like they can't do it all. And it needs to, I would feel more comfortable if it would. Have you asked the churches if they could help?
Not yet.
A lot of them have mission, I know mine does, and they might be willing to help with this.
Several years ago, and this is not the exact same thing, but several years ago when they wanted to make a shower facility and stuff downtown, of course the neighbors came to me with it just being in my district, and I think one of the issues is, when these showers or these facilities are shut down, where do these people go? And they usually wander in the district. And like I said, it's, so I mean, I get it and I understand it, but this is, if there was a plan in place where I knew, for example, this is me thinking, if I knew the first week is going to be in Jeff, the second week was going to be in Clarksville, you know what I'm saying? Where it serviced all the communities. Number one is the communities would have financial stake in this, and number two is it would be a shared program versus being dumped, as he used the term, downtown Jeffersonville.
That was your intention to take it to the other communities?
We will be taking it, yes. But once again,
Next, I don't know if they have a trailer big enough to pull a truck.
right, we'll need to initiate a new truck, which of course, I got volunteers that are willing to step in if need be. But for the time being, right now, it's stationary where it's at for our locals in here, which are basically all Jeffersonville residents, guys. They're all from the local community.
That is what it is.
Let me ask you a question, Paul. If we were to approve, say, half of this, are you willing to go talk to some?
Most definitely. We'll put it out that basically I would just throw it out that we've got a matching grant more or less of this amount, and, I'm willing to do that. That wouldn't be a problem at all.
I'm good with that. And I'm still going to try and get somebody to make a donation on it. So whether that'll happen or not, I don't know.
y'all have any fundraiser drives, like maybe like Steamboat Days or anything like that?
No, basically, we are stepping in again June 12th for your Smoking on the River. Exit Zero last year supplied about 40 homeless individuals within the event, take care of your trash and, dumping all the trash, and worked with Sarah one-on-one. We've been asked to do that again. We're actually going to be feeding 2,500 people. Our main focus here is to take care of those that are in need. It'd be great to be able to sit at a booth and collect money all day, but in reality, we have people out there that can't feed themselves and don't have life skills in order to do this, and this is where we feel our need is out there, but be more than willing, but we have small fundraisers, but they're not what people think, to where you're generating massive amount of money. We did one food truck rally, it was $125. That pays my insurance for my vehicles for the month. When you're on a limited budget, it's really tough. But once again, our private donations in churches, once again, I got 3 churches that step up to the plate to help support the ministry. I have about 40 congregations that come in and basically help us with food and all. So this is, once again, if I have a project out there, we can throw it out and say, we've got this already put together, we need this much, and it'll pop up. God's got a plan here, guys. So, and we'll just continue to follow.
Good deal. You want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we pay, well, do we even know what the cost is going to be?
Up to 4,000.
You could put a dollar amount.
Up to 4,000 is what we were shooting for. Yeah.
Not to exceed $2,000.
Okay.
And with the hope that we can get some community involvement.
Most definitely. And then when we get it, we'll turn the check over to you guys and let you guys purchase it. How's that sound?
That sounds fine. So I've got
a name for you after.
That sounds wonderful.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, moving on to council comments. Councilperson Smith.
Several weeks ago, I reached out. This is the second time I've done it, to Lynn Ashak. And I think most of you are aware that when we have a CSO overflow, that we're supposed to, basically they went on our Facebook, and what that does is it allow the people in the community to realize that we're having this CSO. And it was an agreement that was made Well, at that last year, that was taken off. So I went to Lynn Ashak about it, and they started placing it back on. So when we had a CSO overflow, it was put on the Jeff City Facebook. Now, the last month or so, there are no CSO events on our Facebook. I got a hold of Lynn Ashak again, and I asked Lynn, I said, Lynn, these are not put on our Facebook page. It was an agreement that we entered into that we would make people aware when we was having a CSO event. And he told me that, well, he knew it, but it had been stopped. Anyway, so now it looks like the sewer department may be coming up with their own separate little CSO event Facebook thing instead of not putting it on the Jeff City Facebook. The last I checked, there was only 17 people, because nobody knew about this. When you go to Jeff City, it's got everything.
I don't understand the reasoning in all of this.
I don't either.
It's on the city's Facebook page.
It's not anymore.
They have quit.
It was just an alert out. And I don't know, and the reason I'm saying this is it is required that we do that. And it's, so I did reach out to Lynn, and it was just, so I'm just pointing that out, so.
I have a question, because I know that Lynn contacted Pro Media, and they said they've been told not to put it on the Facebook page. Who pays for Pro Media? Does it come out of, I thought that we'd moved that under Parks. Where's it moved? It's under Parks? I believe it is, but I'm not, I can check. So we should have a contract, which the contract should be.
Yeah, it should be with the Parks.
Should be with the Parks Department, so we need to get with them.
I talked, the last time I had this conversation with Lynn.
I'm not sure they're working under a contract, do you know?
I'm not sure.
The last time I had this conversation with Lynn, he asked to get a code or an ID or whatever it takes, because when they have a CSO, Lynn and everybody, they get it on their phone, through some type of wireless system. And he wanted to get a way that he could actually put it on. And they wouldn't allow it, or didn't allow it, or couldn't allow it, I'm not sure, but And then, but the last CSOs we've had in Jeffersonville, they have not been advertised.
Can I ask a quick question? Can I ask a question real quick? We have Code Red. Why isn't those alerts being sent to Code Red?
Not everybody gets Code Red either. Yeah, I mean,
It's all
More than
landlines.
17 people.
yeah, more than 70 people. It could be, but it still needs to be on the Facebook page.
The thing is
Well, I'm
that
not
Agreed.
saying-
it's been on the
Do both.
Facebook page for
But-
several years since we
Oh, I
had it up
know.
and running. It's got a regular following of people. Code Red, when we had a storm go through, they was like 3 or 4 or 5 hours late.
Scott,
Oh, I don't know. We've been
But-
getting alerts at home here.
But
I mean, we
I'm
got
telling
one the
you
other
something,
day.
I do not want to be woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning because there's a CSO event coming. I'm just saying, because I get the text, I get the thing that sounds like a fire truck is going off in my room, and I get a phone call. I get 3 different things. And then my husband gets them, and my son gets them. So it's like, I
It
just don't
should
think that's
be,
appropriate for Code Red.
it should stay on this, it's a city issue, it was an agreement that we have, and it should have stayed with the city Facebook page.
Scott,
It's pretty simple,
I mean, if he
but
wants
it's being
to,
played with.
if he wants to have permission to get on the council's Facebook page and post it on there, I have no problem with that.
Whitney.
I want it where it's supposed to be.
I understand, but I'm saying, we can also, if he wants to, we can have him post on the council Facebook page too.
Yeah, but it still needs to be on the city because that still reaches more.
That was the
people.
intent,
Yeah.
that's where it started, and he's maintained the same.
Mr. Lewis. Oh, I'm going. Since this is something that we are required to do, can you talk to me, the members of the sewer board, are they aware that this is not happening, or have they discussed this?
I've already arranged to talk with the members of the sewer board, but I assure you, the change was not implemented by the sewer board. I don't know who told Toby not to put it on the city Facebook page. It wasn't the sewer board. I can assure you of that.
Well, I didn't mean to imply that, I just want, are they aware that it is not? I mean, I talked with Dale, but that we still got Bill, I don't know.
I was going to come from the sewer board.
Okay.
So I don't know who within the city instructed ProMedia not to post the CSO, because that is required by EPA.
Yeah.
with Notification of the CSO event.
But I just wanted to make a public statement and a public meeting, because if we get gigged financially for not meeting our part, it's on a public record that we're aware of it, Lynn Ashak's been made aware of it, that it has been, and now they've got a little CSO event, little sidebar over here, that's got 17 viewers. That's not the whole intent. The whole intent is to get it out there. It's a safety and it's an agreement. And it ought to be where it's supposed to be, and quit jacking around. This is the second time it's happened.
Okay.
And it's intentional. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay, Councilperson?
No comment.
Councilperson Wadsworth?
Nothing.
Councilperson Sellers? Councilperson Webb? Councilperson Julius?
Just to make everybody aware, we lost an old-time city employee, Bob Miller, passed away this morning, and he was our city engineer for years, and just a great guy, and he will be missed.
Councilperson Owen?
Just wanted to give a shout out to all of the city employees that made Thunder a huge success. We have our high-level guys, of course, work on planning for Thunder almost all year long, especially starting early in the year that we meet weekly. But then above and beyond that, all of our guys all the way down and through the ranks, everybody is, made to work Thunder. You work the night before, you get 2 hours of sleep, and you're working all day the day of Thunder. It makes for a long day for everybody, and everything went off without a hitch as far as I saw yet Saturday. So just wanted to extend appreciation to all those guys that don't get to really enjoy Thunder because they're always working, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. So that's all I had.
I just wanted to echo that sentiment because I sat in the Thunder meetings, and we really have a great collaboration with federal, state, and local agencies, and they really put a lot of time and effort into that, and much appreciated. And also, as you all are aware, we will be seeing some overtime expenses, and then plus the food was provided. We had that very intensive, very severe apartment fire, as you all were made aware of. So we are just thankful to God that no loss of life, and they did find a little kitten and was named Mr. Miracle, and Mr. Miracle's doing fine. Sarah's taking good care of the cat. So all the agencies there stepped up, and I know the police department did step up, and SWAT was training, so Kenny Kavanaugh, the new chief, had SWAT come down and handle crowd control and blocking things off. So the guys that were supposed to be on the street got back out to police the street, and I thought that was awesome for him to do that. I also have where I need to make an appointment to the Drainage Board. As you all know, Charlie passed away. So I'd like to appoint Tom Campbell to the Drainage Board for my appointment. He lives in New Chapel. He's well aware of, that's the area where Charlie was at, so he's well aware of the drainage issues out there. And we're talking with the city engineer and with Matt Bell. They really like that and, you know, represented because that's where all the new growth is coming, and Lindsay Creek is kind of at capacity, so he can keep a close eye on all of that. So
I make a motion to accept your nomination.
Second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, council. And also, I think we are in agreement to purchase the table for Taste of Jeff, which is May 14th. 2 tables? Is that an agreement, council, 2 tables? Okay. And that's all I have. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Meeting adjourned.